Hi guys, and welcome down to the Belfry, the TaylorMade performance centre, putting the M6 and M5 drivers through their paces, a 14 handicapper and a scratch golfer, custom fitted versus off the shelf. Let's see what works best. With Andrew. Have you ever had a custom fitting or ever thought about having a custom fitting before?
Not before, no.
Obviously, never had a custom fitting before, about to have one. I'm guessing you're excited just to find out the little things that many golfers don't really think about when they go and buy a custom made club.
No, that's right. No, so I'm looking forward to the experience this morning. I felt that now's probably the right time to tune my clubs in and see if they can improve on the clubs that I've got.
But as somebody who's played, you said, with the same driver for 10 years, what's the most important thing that you want to see or get out of the fitting you're about to have?
Distance for me, yes, it's important, but I'm really looking for consistency. And if I get a bit more distance, then that's great too.
We're joined by Chris, who's a scratch golfer, or at least you should be.
Should be, yeah.
Been custom fit before?
So custom fit out in the States about 10 years ago. So it's just a nice opportunity to see what clubs were right for me and whether the clubs that I had at the time were benefiting me really. So it's been a long time coming.
I can easily say if something doesn't go right, I immediately want to change, and I'm guessing you're exactly the same.
Yeah, I class myself more as a bit of a field golfer. I've always bought clubs based on the custom fit that I had 10 years ago, realising today, how beneficial a proper custom fit is. I'm just really looking forward to getting in there and seeing what the new technology brings.
Is there something particular that a scratch golfer wants to see them get a bit better?
Yes, I think for me, my misses, I've played predominantly from right to left for 15, 20 years now. I just want to make sure it's coming back, and recently it hasn't been, and I want to know if that's down to me, is my swing changing, or is it the equipment, and is there something out there that's going to benefit me?
We're going to find all that out. Let's go and hit some shots. Let's see what the results are.
Looking forward to it.
Andrew has been fit, but it was quite not an unusual case, but he was a guy who'd had a driver for 9 years. He was comfortable with it. He said it was the strongest part of his game. And you said that's a little bit more difficult fitting somebody into a driver. It's good in their hands.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes the easy fitter when they struggle with their own driver. But if we could give him a bit more speed and a bit more distance and keep it under control. But it wasn't a massive gain on average until we really started to dial him in. But it was all about seeing more ball speed with actually what was a slower club speed with the M6 driver versus his own product. All of a sudden efficiency was better, and that's a win for everyone really.
And there were two models, the M5 and the M6, but why did Andrew suit the M6 better?
He didn't need all of the adjustability of movable weights. His path is very good, and his face to path is excellent as well. He just lays it a little bit open from time to time and doesn't really shift the ball too much left to right in a slice motion. Yeah. He didn't need all of the adjustability of movable weights. Plus, M6 is probably going to feel more like what he currently has than an M5. And again, he hit his own well anyway, so we didn't want to take him away from that feeling too much.
Just for the people at home, what's the one thing that you've seen as a fitter that is just like the most important thing about club fitting?
If you can get the golfer hitting it closer to the middle of the face more often, that generally improves everything. If we can give you a product that also performs more efficiently across a wider portion of the face, that is key. Absolutely key, because he's off 14 handicap for a reason. He doesn't hit the middle of the face all of the time.
Joined by Dan now. We've seen how Andrew was fitted, now we've got the scratch golfer. What was Chris put into?
It was a bit of a funny fit in terms of it shows the importance of all types of golf getting custom fitted, whether it's a scratch golfer like Chris or Andrew, who was obviously a slightly higher handicap. One of the first words that Chris said to me was he doesn't like a driver that looks open at address. He actually was playing that current gamer at 4 degrees open, which is great feedback for a fitter, because it means we've got so much volume to play around with in that position. First port of call was M5 4.6. 60. We ended up in a 9-degree head. His numbers backed everything up. His launch was a little bit higher, but the spin was a little bit less. So ultimately he was hitting more fairways. He wasn't seeing the right hand side of the golf course nowhere near as much, but his distance was up 7-8 yards. His ball speed was up, you know, up to 3 miles an hour on averages. One in particular was up to 4 miles an hour, which is something that we are seeing and hope to continue seeing with the products this year.
What's sort of the main thing that you see that when you are in control and you can have a lot of options and say, no, this is what you need?
Yeah, I think it varies golfer to golfer. So you'll get a golfer who just wants to pick up distance. But Chris, you know, it's not that he needs the extra distance. For him, it was very much consistency in the dispersion of where his shots were finishing.
So a lot's been changed. The new technology is going to help. He's going home with a happy and healthy M5. So, oh no, thanks Dan, and I'm pretty sure it's good luck to Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he was already asking, you know, matching potentially his 3-wood in with the shaft. He was really pleased with that. So yeah, I think he's going to go away and maybe look at 3-wood as well. So yeah, all positive.
What was the biggest thing you saw? We've had the custom fitting, it's all been done. All good?
Very good, yeah. Enjoyed the experience for a start. Very good. Yeah, the good thing about it, tried quite a number of different club heads and shafts. As I say, once he tuned me in, I was getting that consistency. I was getting a little more length as well, but I felt that the club was very comfortable.
When you look at the numbers, we're going to get into this in a lot more detail, but on average, an extra 7-8 yards. Your Sunday best is 15 yards. How much are you looking forward to take that distance onto the course?
Really looking forward to golf going forward, and hopefully, as I say, getting more consistency and improve my game generally. The experience is really good, and I'm sure the overall result will give me that consistency that I'm looking for.
You've hit the products, you mentioned misses, but we're going to go in with distance. Sort of on average it was 2 yards carry, but we're seeing, you know, over 10 yards.
And it really wasn't a case of me changing the swing or anything like that. But yeah, you know, it was a case that I almost felt myself swinging easier because the club was doing all the work for me. And I've gained 10 yards extra distance, which is exactly what you need. You don't feel like you can do that without changing equipment these days. I'm one of those people, you know, do drivers need to come out that often? Do irons need to be changed that often? But seeing today the technology that goes into everything and all the different options that you have, if you aren't custom fitting yourself, if you aren't going to these places and getting the benefits from it, you're missing out. You know, it's a perfect opportunity for golfers of all standards to come and improve, see what they've got, whether it's right for them or whether they can improve without actually having to change their swing. Because I think a lot of golfers these days try and change their swing to get the improvements, whereas, you know, the technology's there, there's a club for everybody.
Preaching. I think everyone can take a valuable lesson, but there we go. 2 custom fittings done. Andrew for 14 handicap has seen, you know, almost 8-7 yards on average. Chris, you're a scratch golfer, you've seen ball speed go up, you've even seen distance, you know, around 13-15 yards. It works. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Let's see what happens, but you know, for more of this type of content, check out naturalclubgolfer.com. If you like this video, leave a comment below. Have you ever been custom fit before? Like it, share it. But until next time, that's it. Thanks for coming down.
That's great. Thank you.